Mithrax was introduced a while back in the base game of Destiny 2. We saw his transformation from the House of Wolves to Dusk to House of Light. Mithrax, mainly in our time of interaction, has always been a beacon of hope for some Eliksni and humans, worshipping the power of the Great Machine and creating the House of Light. What you don't know, though, is his brutal pirate lord past. Today, we are going to talk about the early life of Misraaks, his pirate crew connection to Spider and his brother, and why this has been hidden for so long.
We could have everything this time. We need only take it.
Your words are careless.
You don't know what your father is capable of, little scribe.
What does that mean?
This conversation never happened.
Welcome on in, everybody. This story is basically Mithrax's Saint 14 slaughtering the Eliksni moment. Great writing by Bungie, and we get to see the story of this character laid out in front of us. From catch killer, pirate lord to House of Light caretaker, let's begin. Misraaks was born during the Long Drift, a time after the Eliksni collapse known as the Whirlwind. During this time, many Eliksni would set aboard their ships and ketches and drift out into space. Food would become scarce, and hope for their futures even scarcer. Today's story begins aboard a ketch belonging to the House of Gentle Weavers and Enax. After the Whirlwind, Enax would board her ship with her people and drift into space for years, hoping someone would eventually find them and provide aid, maybe some food and direction in their new lives. Enax went from weaving memorials for their dead to tearing meat off their dead bodies in order to provide food. Around this time, from Enax, Misraaks was born. Enax mentions that his father died soon after and wasn't really much of a help to the hatchling, so she would raise him on her own. At first, the Eliksni leader wanted to crush this egg, weave it into cloth instead of bringing a young hatchling into a world of despair. But hope would eventually poke through, and she would hold this new child close to her chest. One day, another ketch would appear in their airspace, bearing the sigil of House Dancers, later known as the House of Devils. The two Eliksni vessels agreed to send an emissary to speak to one another, and this was none other than Aramis. Enax knew Aramis when they were children, but she was much different now. The Dancers first wanted to wipe out the Weavers, but seeing how much strength they still had among their ranks, so they decided to make a deal instead. Weavers get some of Dancers' people and ether, and Dancers get supplies for their repairs. Among this trade, Aramis handed Misraaks' mother two small Eliksni. These would be Raucus and Civix, the Spider and his brother. From there, Spider and Mithrax would learn and grow together. Spider witnessed the rise of Misraaks among their ranks. This was a dark time for the Eliksni, but things would soon change upon their arrival to Sol. Mithrax' mother and the Eliksni found a tomb of Nezarec on the moon. From its body, they stole artifacts of dark power. Mithrax would inherit one of these later on, and it made him hungry for even more power.
Misraaks inherited one of these relics, and its power ensnared him. He sought more, no matter the cost. Over time, the relics of Nezarec were separated and scattered across the galaxy. Their influence faded, but the stains of their power endure. Misraaks fled from the butchery he was born into. He claims he has changed and now lives a life of piety.
After the Weavers became wolves, Misraaks was a vandal among their ranks. From lore back in the Forsaken expansion, we see that Misraaks was captured by Seer Ido, the Queen's Wrath, and soon became allies with the Awoken. At first, Seer Ido tied him up and was trying to teach him a lesson. At this point, he would try to escape, jump off a cliff even, to end his own life. But before he could, Seer Ido would grab his feet, pull him back in, and show signs of peace. As time went on and she began to speak in Eliksni tongue to him, Mithrax soon became more comfortable with these new friends and would even help fight other Eliksni rebels. Fast forward to a time later, Seer Ido was dead, the Awoken broken, and the Eliksni rummaging through Sol trying to stay afloat. You may ask, wait, Mithrax looked like a pirate when he used the relic in that cutscene, then he became a vandal? Possibly, or the cutscene is just depicting him as this pirate lord captain. From earlier in the season, we learned the Eliksni first came to Sol around the time of our Dark Ages. Mithrax then inherited this relic, so it depends on when he began to use the power and how fast. It could be possible that those events took place hundreds of years before the Awoken even arrived in our solar system. So either Mithrax used the relics, lost ether and somehow became a vandal, or these pirate events take place after meeting Seer Ido and the Awoken and all of their downfalls. This is one part that still kind of confuses me a little bit, so let me know your thoughts below. From the disbanded Eliksni houses came the House of Dusk, where we see Mithrax the Forsaken appear once more. In the base game of Destiny 2, when we see Mithrax, we can see these friendly intentions toward other groups. He had it towards the Awoken, and now he was friendly towards the humans and the Guardians. He said, just take the reactor, you didn't kill me, just let me escape, I'm just trying to survive.
I think that captain just gave us the reactor. You think you understand the Fallen, and then... Well, let's take it. Sloane's waiting. Sloane, you'll never guess what happened.
You killed a captain and found a methane reactor?
We didn't kill him. He let us have it. Just looked at us and left.
Fascinating.
After the base game of Destiny 2, Mithrax would appear more frequently throughout the lore in a positive way after those dark times, joining a fire team to honor Seer Ido, helping us stop the Devils and Aramis from invading the tower and finding Siva-infused weapons, and using his splicer tech acquired to stop the Endless Night. From the Dark Pirate Lord, we see change, wanting to step into the light and guide his people and others to the safety of the Great Machine. Now when you think about this character's entire story, we first met them back in Destiny 2 base game on Titan when he was called Mithrax the Forsaken. Forsaken meaning abandoned or deserted, so that's a pretty cool tie-in when you look back. He left that past pirate life, deserted it to join the House of Dusk and change his ways. I'm going to have another video on the channel up about Nezarec and these relics with extensive info on the various tombs, so be sure to check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Anyway Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Mithrax's Pirate Lord past and what he's been hiding from our Guardian and Ido. Over the first couple of weeks of the season, the Spider and other characters have been sort of hinting at Mithrax's catch killer days, and now we finally see this coming to fruition. Although he used that dark power in the past, Mithrax is now all about the House of Light and helping others. If you'd like to see some other Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you all in the next video.